And you're like, oh no. The nervous what?
What's up, everybody? I'm Dylan Bartlett, and I have a passion for small business. You're hearing it here first. So we're talking to business owners to find out how they got started and what keeps them driven to succeed. This is In Your Business.
Hope we can use that for something.
Color grading, videos. Sounds like science, gang. Yeah, please use all of these. We have to switch sides. We can fix all of this in the editing. I'm kidding. He likes it when I make fun of him like that. He makes fun of me all the time.
So the first thing I wanted to say real quick was I struggle during the winter with trying to be positive, like a lot of people, right? So I have I think probably some bouts of seasonal depression, and the winter seems to take a real genuine toll on me.
Yeah.
So then a couple weeks ago, I'm feeling good, man. You know, the sun's shining, and I wake up and oh, man, I'm getting ready. I'm making breakfast. I'm doing things I never, I got music going. I'm feeling
You don't normally make breakfast?
Well, I mean, yeah, yes and no. What's breakfast? A piece of toast that I eat straight out of the toaster without anything on it. I do, yeah. I do that sometimes for sure, right?
Yeah.
So I'm I feel like I'm dressed nice. I get my coat on, get my scarf going. I'm feeling pretty good. And I step out of my house and I turn around, and I close the door, and I stand there for a second, and the sun's beaming down on me, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Today's going to be a good day.
Yep.
Take no joke, for real, take one step forward, slip and ice, fall down my front stairs.
No.
Right? Seriously. Almost tear my finger off trying to grab onto the railing as I fall down.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm honest, it was funny. You know what I mean? It was a pretty good fall,
The
right?
irony is not
Yeah,
lost.
it was a pretty nice wipeout, right? So how, in spite of all of that, because you tend to be a very positive person, what do you do? What do you tell yourself? How do you stay positive in the face of something like that?
In the face of winter or in the face of fall?
I guess life in general, but specifically in the winter. Yeah.
Winter, vitamin D, dude. Oh my God, we are such a deficient.
Oh, I
society
know.
in vitamin D, and it's such an easy thing to get because the supplements aren't that expensive, and I end up taking slightly higher doses than normal in the winter. Maintaining my immune system, that always helps because if you're fighting something, you're also tired, you're also a little down. So maintaining immune system.
Tired and down, I think, sums up winter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to In Your Business. Today we're hanging out with Lesley with an EY at the end. Why don't you tell these lovely folks about your business?
Okay. Well, I'm a licensed naturopathic doctor, and I'm the owner of the Simple Life Naturopathic here in Kincardine. It's a home-based practice, and it's cute and a little kind of boutique wellness center.
Yeah.
And I really love focusing on people who are completely overwhelmed by life, completely.
So 90% of the population,
yes, exactly. And because they've been in this stressed out mode for so long, they start to get physical symptoms such as digestion issues or chronic headaches or pain patterns or inflammation wherever in the body.
Very cool.
Foggy brains, fatigue, all of it can be tied back to your stress response.
Foggy brain.
Yeah.
I think I have that. Let's talk about that. Explain that to me. Yeah, I want to know more about that. That feels like something that I have for sure.
Okay. Well, foggy brain has a lot of implications. So inability to focus, the inability to remember words, inability to really remember what you're supposed to be doing that day without writing it down. And
so if every day I'm trying to remember the most basic of words, and I'm going in my head I'm thinking words are hard.
So my first instinct is oh my God, get that voice and be complex.
What early in your education and your career, what made you go the natural route?
Well, I was actually in forensics first.
CSI?
Crime scene investigation.
No way.
Yeah. So I had a massive love for the human body. I mean, I used to dissect them.
I was going to say, I feel like actually maybe not.
So very different.
Yeah.
But I loved learning about them. I loved learning about their systems and how the body worked. And unfortunately, the job market for crime investigators
I'm also going to correct you and say, fortunately. You know, because I don't feel like that's a job.
For someone who's in that job, though, who wants to get her hands
Yeah.
dirty. You know, I wanted that to happen. Anyway.
Get your hands dirty. I'm learning a lot about you right now because I feel like that's a job that we don't, like, as a society, we don't want there to be like a huge call to action.
Fair.
Like, we need these crime scene investigators. We need more of them. Like, you know, if you don't know what you want to do with your life, please do that. We need so many of these things. It's crazy. Yeah.
So that was my first kind of go-to. I went to school in Sudbury, and then even my part-time job was as a body mover. I picked up dead people.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's not a joke.
I only got paid $20 a body. It was sucky pay.
No, but come on, that's not real.
That's super real. Unless the cops showed up, and then I got paid $50 because then it was like a real crime scene. There.
I'm sorry, I can't let you off with that. Do you go from body removal? Is that what your business card said?
Yeah.
To wanting to do this whole CSI thing?
Right.
And then how does that segue into what you're doing now?
Well, the CSI thing didn't really pan out 100% because they changed the law in Ontario that you had to be a police officer first.
Okay.
And then do 5 years of that, and then get onto the forensic ident unit. And at the time, I was like, I don't want to be a cop, and I clearly still do not. So it changed. I pivoted hard. So actually I went and worked for a bank for 4 years because I really didn't know what to do after that. And
which is not uncommon, right? Like, a lot of people go to school for something.
Yeah.
And then kind of are left feeling a little bit undecided about what they want to do with their career, and they end up kind of doing something different for a while.
They went to school for 4 years, they're out in the career, and they're like, wow, I really don't like this.
Yeah,
and
totally,
you
right?
have to pivot.
You almost as though you change and grow over the 4 years that you're in school.
Well, and you're deciding on your career at like 18 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted to do long term at 18. I didn't even know what naturopathic medicine was at 18 years old.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah. So I was out in a bank. It was one of those soul-sucking jobs that, you know.
No disrespect, bank people.
No
Look,
disrespect. I'm not going to name names.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't my jam.
Yeah.
And so I ended up having a dream one night.
Okay.
It was very random that I was helping other people that were walking into my storefront, and I was teaching them how to heal with alternative ways.
Cool. And
I think it all kind of stemmed from the fact that I took a lot of electives in school that were natural health and medicine, origins of sickness and medicine. Dr. Miguel Bauman, he was awesome. And it was really inspiring. I was like, I just started thinking in a different way about my own trajectory. And I had chronic pain as a kid and was told, well, you can take these pain meds from 12 years old on. And I was like, whoa, that sounds, even as a 12-year-old, that sounded awful.
Yeah.
And then I started to go see chiropractic, and things got a little bit better. And so, I was always trying to look for my own ways as well.
And now you're a doctor.
And now I'm a doctor.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Can we talk about dreams for a sec?
Yeah.
Because I found that to be, do you believe, and I think I kind of believe this, do you believe that sometimes dreams will help lead you in the right direction? What are your thoughts on dreams? Like,
clearly I do. Yeah. Because I had that dream. I started researching natural health, which led me to naturopathic medicine. And within 5 months, I was starting the 4-year program.
Wild, right?
Yeah. So I absolutely believe in it.
Is there a scenario in your practice, in your conversations with your patients, where dreams are like a part of what you're talking to them about?
Every time we talk about sleep, do you dream? Do you remember your dreams?
Yeah.
Because that is a sign of health. If you can remember them, and not necessarily, all day long, but if you remember them when you wake up, that's a big deal. That means that you are processing, your subconscious is dumping all the stuff it doesn't need from the day before. You are having these dreams. And if you're having something like a dream or a nightmare that brings up a lot of specific emotions, then we look at the everyday life and be like, okay, where are you kind of experiencing stress or fear or anxiety day to day? This dream could be tied to that. It definitely gives me an insight into kind of that subconscious. A lot of people will wake up, say, at 2 or 3 in the morning, and it's a constant. They can set their clock by it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that could be a stress hormone spike. It's called cortisol. And if cortisol is spiking at that time, it means that you've been under chronic stress for so long that it's not spiking appropriately when it should at, say, 6 or 7 in the morning. Because we need cortisol.
We have to talk about this further. So I feel like you're just describing my whole life.
Yeah.
So like, now not with me specifically, but in general, we got to talk about, I think we should dive into the sleep situation a little bit and try to figure out what do people need to do? Because this is a real hot topic, but it's like, I think it's probably come up in every conversation that I've had recently. And it's like for a variety of reasons. Like, obviously if you're a business owner, you probably have the odd night where you don't sleep very well. If not the odd night where you sleep well. You know what I mean? Right. Like, stuff are you talking to your patients about what the issues they're having with sleep and kind of what they should do for them?
So a lot of similar things. Having that nighttime routine really signals to the body that it is time to start putting yourself into that parasympathetic or relaxed rest and digest kind of phase. Yeah. So ideally we would be out of sympathetic or fight or flight mode for a couple hours before trying to wind down. Yeah. So recognizing when you're in one nervous system versus the other, that's huge. 2, if we need to retrain the body in not spiking cortisol at 2 or 3 in the morning, then I often recommend a little bit of protein before bed. Okay. Just straight protein. Yeah, because protein will stabilize your blood sugar levels.
So you're telling me that I could eat chicken before bed?
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit, like just not even a palmful. Okay.
So chicken
nuts and seeds, hard-boiled egg, piece of chicken left for dinner, anything like that. So just straight protein. So that's a big one. I often recommend taking magnesium as well. There's different forms of magnesium, so you'd have to check with your naturopathic doctor in order to know which kind is specific for you.
Yeah, very cool.
But magnesium helps to relax muscles, helps to relax the body. I love that one for sleep. If people are having more of that racing thought, then 5-HTP is your best friend. So that gets taken about an hour or 2 before bed. And
what is that?
5-HTP is actually a supplement. It's the precursor for serotonin and tryptophan. So you know how when you eat turkey, you get tired?
Yeah, you do.
Similar mechanism.
The best naps.
Exactly. Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
So 5-HTP is a really good one for calming the mind ahead of time. And then non-supplement wise, guided meditations. If you can do meditations, sleep meditations. I know with the electronics, it gets a little like, you don't want electronics in the bedroom. But I often will do like a sleep hypnosis, sleep meditation on YouTube. It's free. Yay. And find a voice that really
and you just clickety-clack search it. What are we searching? What are the words?
Guided meditation for insomnia. Simple, or sleep meditation for
free
anxiety.
Advice.
There you go.
Free advice.
I honestly, most of my patients know this. They do meditations daily. It is absolutely my jam. Actually, my newsletter just went out yesterday, and it's all about meditations. So.
Very cool. Yeah. So what does your routine look like then? If you don't mind giving the people a peek into your life, you go to bed at approximately what time? You wake up at approximately what time? And then what happens? What happens in that time before you go to bed?
Good question. So sometimes I just crash.
Okay.
I'm an early to bed kind of person, which drives my partner nuts a little bit. But like 10 o'clock, I'm going to bed.
That's it. I swear Sadie said 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
10 o'clock seems so early to me.
Okay, but keep in mind, your organ systems are active at certain times of the day and night. So if you want to look this up, it's the TCM clock, traditional Chinese medicine clock. Okay. And it talks about how certain organ systems you need to be in an unconscious sleep state in order for them to be as effective as they are. Really? So your liver and your gallbladder, for instance, are between 11 and 1 a.m. And if you're not asleep or in that unconscious kind of sleep state, they're not working as effectively at detoxing.
Okay, so there's science.
There's reasons.
There's real reasons why you want to go to sleep at 10.
That's right.
Then when you go to sleep, you just sleep until you wake up.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No.
Good.
I have a dog and a partner, and I have a lot of my own. I have chronic pain, and so there's certain tossing and turning.
For sure. And we appreciate the honesty on that.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think I'd be as effective as a naturopath if I wasn't experiencing all of these things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So this dog is relatively new for you, right? right?
Yes.
Still a puppy.
Still a puppy, 4.5 months old.
Oh, okay. So still a terror.
Slightly. She's actually really good. So she tends to stay up in my kitchen when I have people in the clinic space.
Okay.
And she's quiet. She doesn't bark at them.
Well, that's lovely.
She likes to attack me on occasion, and she's got little like piranha teeth that
totally.
Your skin.
Or your baseboards, or like anything in your house that they choose to kind of they're teething like a baby, really.
Exactly. And you can tell when she's having a harder time with it. But I just think of it as like, it's free acupuncture. Yay.
Yes. Do you grow up with a dog?
Yes.
So you've been a dog person your whole life?
Pretty much, but I wasn't kind of primary caregiver to the original dog. There were 6 of us that shared.
Kids don't get it,
No.
Like kids don't get it. Like I feel like kids just get like the absolute best of what having a dog is.
Yeah.
We're just cuddling a dog.
Cuddled and
of course, right?
I don't remember picking up poop. I don't remember even feeding it most of the time.
No, totally,
And he was a lovely, lovely, well-behaved dog that kind of took himself for walks. He was the neighborhood dog. Yeah. And therefore, I had no idea what I was getting into.
You were how old, though?
Oh, goodness. He was 17 when he passed, so 11 to 28.
Because I'm just thinking, like, my kids, a plane could crash into my house and they wouldn't wake up. You know what I mean? Like, so fair, I don't think there's any scenario in the world where the dog wakes them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the dog wakes us up all the time, you know, because we're like, I guess we're listening now because we're adulting constantly. You know what I mean? But it's
paying attention even in sleep.
Yeah.
So, and that disrupts sleep. Like, these are the questions I ask patients, because if they have a dog that's constantly moving or chewing a bone or whining, and then they're gonna hear it.
Yeah, and it's gonna like potentially ruin their next day, maybe.
That's right.
Just by kind of causing them to have bad sleep.
That's right.
So we had a fun experience, and I got to do some acupuncture, or you did acupuncture, but on me.
Yes.
Is that more accurate?
Yeah.
I didn't actually do any acupuncture because I don't know what the deal is.
I think that's not allowed. Actually.
I would describe myself as a healthy skeptic, and acupuncture feels kind of amazing. Why is that? Because you look insane. Like, I mean, I'm laying there and I remember thinking, this is kind of weird.
Yep.
Right?
For sure.
Especially initially, like not really knowing a whole lot about it other than what you've told me about it.
And was it painful for you?
No, not at all. Yeah, again, it's like, if anything, it actually kind of feels nice, like, which is, again, like, bizarre to me, not to totally right, not to you at all. But you're laying there and you've got like these pins kind of sticking, and I had the pins, like, you had a few areas that you were trying to like kind of make me feel better with some joint pain and stuff, and it absolutely felt amazing. Why does it work, and why does it feel amazing?
Well, so Chinese medicine and acupuncture has been around for centuries. And we use it as pain management, but also I do a lot of hormone balancing with it and fertility.
Really?
Yeah. Anybody that comes in for infertility gets acupuncture. It also can stimulate labor if you are pregnant, and so there's a lot of different benefits for it. That's just like tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, for sure.
But what it does is bring a lot of new blood flow to the area. So you want new blood constantly. And a lot of times if we're sitting, especially cross-legged, we're getting a lot of stagnation. Yeah. We're getting a lot of energetic stagnation, blood flow stagnation, nerve impingement. And what acupuncture does is kind of reinvigorates whatever area we just put that needle in. Now, I may be bastardizing this a little bit. I'm not a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, but we do take 4 years of acupuncture.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. So I think you can speak to this, is my point. Yeah, I thought you were going to like try to play it off for a second. I was 100% going to call you out on it, because I was like, no, you know what? You absolutely are qualified to have this conversation. So, do you think that a lot of like just the way we feel physically, mentally, or whatever is kind of directly connected to just as a society, how much we're just kind of like sitting?
Absolutely. Sitting is the new smoking.
Okay, yeah. That's an awesome way to put it, yeah.
So sitting does a number on our body. First of all, we were not meant to sit as long as we do. And going to the gym for like a half hour to an hour after 8 hours of sitting doesn't negate the effects of it. So when we're sitting, we're hopefully in a semi-upright position, not super
well, literally, when you did that, I realized I've been slouching this entire time.
So it shortens the hamstring. So when you then stand up, they're tight. They're really tight.
So are you thinking like just like you have an office job, you have a desk job? Are we talking like, is this like the 7th inning stretch in baseball? Are we saying that like, every hour on the hour people should be getting up and moving around a little bit? Or like, what does it take? Like, what does it take to kind of help, offset just the physical toll of just sitting so much?
Well, making sure that when you're not in the office, you are not necessarily exercising, but being active, moving the body in any capacity. So on weekends, in evenings, maybe you're walking to work. Maybe big things that I do in my practice is see where physical ailments are coming from mental emotional issues as well, or tying physical and mental emotional together. And I find a lot of times that the hamstrings get tight on people, especially men, their mood dips.
Yeah.
A little bit more depression, a little bit more despondency, which is wild.
Yeah.
So releasing those helps immensely. But when the hamstrings are tight, it pulls on everything above it.
Yeah.
Glutes, low back, what have you. So then all of a sudden your low back's aching. You're like, oh, why am I so sore?
Yeah.
Then your sleep is off. Then your ability to go and move and exercise.
Oh my God, I do all these things and they're all connected.
Right. And that's what my job is, to connect everything and be like, okay, this is the root cause of this. This is where we need to tweak something. It's not big changes. It's not giant shifts. It's tweaks. And then we go through life and we're like, where can we do these little tweaks that would make a giant impact on you?
So while we're on the topic of sitting,
yeah,
when is Netflix appropriate?
Always. Good question.
And also, would it help if we just adopted a standing Netflix policy? Like,
see, I try and get a certain number of steps in, and so I will be marching around my living room
while you're binge watching a show.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
However, I love TV just as much as the next person, so it is appropriate if you're not using it to just zone out from dealing with life.
Okay.
If you're using it as, I'm relaxing, I'm unwinding, it's an hour before bed, and I'm going to turn it off and go read, absolutely. Do what you need to do.
Yeah, cool. What are you reading right now?
What am I not reading? I always have like 3 or 4 books on the go.
Okay, but outside of the realm of like, because I know you read a lot, you're definitely like a continuing kind of education person, right?
Constant.
So outside of the realm of like, like business related stuff, like, career related stuff,
okay.
What are you reading that's just like kind of personal that maybe people wouldn't think of?
So I'm a big fan of beach reads.
Okay.
Like that brain numbing, just.
Are we talking like a romance?
Romance.
Oh my goodness.
Like but right now I am absolutely enthralled in Joe Dispenza. Do you know Dr. Joe Dispenza?
I don't.
He wrote a book called Becoming Supernatural.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to be supernatural. I've always wanted to have like magical powers.
Okay.
I think that's my thing.
All right.
Weird. And so I'm like, heck yeah, I'm gonna read this. It's blowing my mind.
First things first. Hobbies.
Right.
What do you do after work?
Eat.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I enjoy eating.
Yeah, cool. That's actually another question I'm going to ask you. So that's awesome.
Well, if it's in the winter, I'm hiking, walking, especially with the dog.
Okay.
Anything that gets me moving.
So get anything that's getting you out into nature.
Correct.
Yeah, very cool. Anything else? Any oddball hobbies that you have?
Like in the summer, I'll go paddleboarding in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I don't start work till noon. So paddleboarding with a coffee.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
So on that note, then, would you consider yourself to be a morning person?
No.
Really?
Which is why I start work late.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to wake up with an alarm. And
I totally get that.
Yeah. I'm getting there though. Like my puppy is making me become a.
Do you think that even people who claim to be morning people are kind of fake morning people? That they have trained themselves to be morning people, or do you think there are people who are legitimately born to just be up early and be?
Oh yeah. there's definitely all kinds of
Because
spectrum.
morning, if I was going to do a study, it would be on morning people, you know? Like I'm trying to figure out like what are morning people about? What makes them tick? You know?
Right.
What makes it what kind of sadistic human being do you have to be
I think they're just highly motivated, a lot of them.
You think so?
Or they get kind of addicted to their morning routine, so then they can't wait to get up and go for it.
I don't know.
I've never been one of those people.
No.
Like that, okay, let's get up.
Yeah, totally.
Shoes on and go for a run. No, that's not my jam. But I applaud those that.
Oh, listen, hey, good for those people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So food, are you a sweet or a savory person?
I combine sweet and savory a lot of times.
What do you mean combine?
Well,
are you talking on the same plate or on the same fork?
Same fork. So like I would do like a honey garlic kind of sauce. So you're getting the sweet or the salty, or the sweet and the.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot then. So say you had to have your last meal.
Okay.
Right? Is it sweet or is it savory? What are you eating? What's going to be on that plate?
Probably I have sweet tooth. I really do.
Okay. So what are we talking then?
I'm doing my best to not.
We're all doing our best. We're all just doing our best, you know?
Because I teach the importance of not having sugar in the diet on a very regular basis.
Yeah.
What would I have? Probably a giant cinnamon bun.
Really?
Of some sort.
You know what? We're on the same page, man.
Really?
I would say that I'm more of a savory person than a sweets person. Like I tend to be like if I'm gonna overeat, I would probably have like seconds of a really good like meal versus having like dessert.
A dessert. Okay.
But I am an absolute fiend for cinnamon buns.
Really?
I love them. So what's your favorite like band or song? Like what are you listening to right now?
Band? Who has time for this stuff? No, just joking. I like a lot of alternative stuff. So
okay.
I don't know. Probably older 90s alternative.
Oh my God, Alex just walked in and she would love this.
Oh, that's Like,
go ahead, no, do it.
Old.
No, so am I, man. Listen, I know. That's what I'm saying. We're both old together. Was that old? I don't think so.
Like old, like.
Go ahead, say it. Yeah, there you go. Alex, are you hearing this? Go ahead, keep going.
No, like I'm done. That's fine. I don't want to admit the fact that I'm 90s crazy.
But we'll just say it, right? We're talking like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, right? These are the things that you listen. If you're not listening to that stuff, then you should be.
Well, and I'm almost forced to listen to it because that's what we listen to in the car when we go on road trips with Jarrett and I. And I'm like, okay, I'm into this again. I remember all the freaking lyrics of this.
Would you consider yourself to be a nostalgic person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that like a little bit of it?
For sure. It brings me back to like, where was I when this song came out?
To be honest with you, it's just a huge relief to me that you didn't say country. Because I'm getting really sick of people saying country when I ask them. Yeah, it's exhausting.
Country moments.
As long as they're in
in the fields last year.
Okay. All right. Forget it. We'll just move on now. All right, so tell the people something about your business that maybe they didn't know, and then how can they get in contact with you? Like, what's the first step to come and see you?
I would say check out actually Instagram first.
Okay.
Because
so you're on Instagram, Facebook,
and Twitter.
And you have a website.
And I have a website.
We'll put it on here. What's the website?
Okay. SimpleLifeNaturopathic.com. And I actually have a lot of resources on the website that people can go and download if they have, say, stress responses. I've got 2 meditations. We're talking about meditations they can download and listen to. But I would say go to Instagram because a lot of my Instagram is very much, it's about me. Yeah. So they can get to know me a little bit more.
Very cool.
And they get to know my love for nature. And then every caption I have on Instagram is some sort of a inspirational message, just a lot of counseling kind of topics that come up in my practice, and then we talk about it on Instagram.
Cool. So it's an awesome opportunity for them to just like get a feel for you, learn a little bit more about you, and then what? Do they just contact form on the website? Yeah,
I have a book now button on the website, and it's really, really simple. You can do online booking, and just or I mean, you could email me as well if you want more questions answered ahead of time. Try not to call because I am a one-woman show and I am very rarely around the phone.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
This was a blast. I'm glad you got your topics in.
Yes.
You know? which was amazing. So guys, thanks so much for watching In Your Business. Tune in next week. We'll be talking to another great local business owner. Thank you.